What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and we didn't close off the week with either a gameplay trailer or the intro cutscene of Firebase, but that's okay. We still got some type of marketing for DLC 1, which I really appreciate, and in the next week or so, I expect there to be more energy when it comes to the marketing for Season 1 Reloaded and Firebase for Zombies. That'll probably be the case, but as I predicted, Treyarch was going to come out at some point and solidify whether or not Richtofen was going to be returning in DLC 1, and they answered that question earlier today. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and also be sure to use code DYNAMITE if you want to save 10% on any Control Freak orders. Their link is, of course, down below in the description. So for those out there saying, just show us footage already, please be patient with Treyarch. We're still in a pandemic, they're still working from home, but in my opinion, they're still killing it with building up hype for Firebase Z. We got storyline teasers, new images, the poster, of course, and I'm sure much more will be revealed besides the intro cutscene and the gameplay trailer in the next week. So earlier today, we got 3 new teasers for DLC 1 on all of Treyarch's social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the first image is of the woman herself, Samantha Maxis. So this is a report from the Omega Group. As it says, Agent Samantha Maxis, formerly an operative for the BND, 6 months ago she acquired stolen Soviet intelligence pertaining to Project Endstation, also known as the Maschine. Soon after, she suspected she'd been compromised and went rogue. It is believed that she has aligned herself with Requiem and the CIA. We have learned she may be an informant inside our facility. She wishes to expose Omega Group. Whether those are Requiem's orders or her own remain unclear. Report any sightings and do not approach. She is not to be underestimated. Dr. Peck, Outpost 25 on May 14th, 1984. So this image of Samantha from the teaser could actually be from the intro cutscene. That wouldn't surprise me at all, because before the Maschine released, they released quite a few teasers and clips of the intro cutscene itself, which were hard to make out, but that's what this could be right here. So we have a new look for Samantha, as you can see. We'll probably see her in the intro, or at least at some point later in the Easter egg, possibly an ending cutscene, and at some point, I'm sure we'll definitely get a bundle where you can play as Samantha in any game mode that you want. That'll probably end up happening, but we then got an image of Dr. William Peck, who we also saw in the beautiful poster of Firebase that we got yesterday. So he is 43 years old, and he is the program manager at the Department of Defense, in charge of one of their directed energy weapons laboratories, doctorate in theoretical physics at age 20. With an IQ of 179, goddamn, he almost has 200 IQ, Peck shows exceptional intelligence. However, his conceited and abrasive behavior has made him hard to work with. Reports say he displays a lack of empathy which borders on an undiagnosed sociopathy disorder. This has led him to be passed on for promotion repeatedly. Our assets inside the agency believes with the right career opportunity and payment incentive, he can be turned. He would be an excellent gain for the Soviet Union and would make an exemplary, what a word, exemplary candidate for Omega's exoscientific phenomena research lead. What a mouthful there. From Dr. Valentina on March 28th, 1983. So we know we saw him in the poster yesterday. We heard of him through the Spectral Ghost Easter egg on the Maschine. We know who he is, but if you guys are still confused on what's going on in the new Dark Ether storyline, I have my recap video linked down below in the description. But we then got the most important teaser of all today from the Omega Group as well. It is a report talking about Kapitan Sergei Ravenov, 32 years old, strong, smart, disciplined, vicious, and a ruthless killer. As a counter-terrorism operator in Spectral Grupa Alpha, he has served in the Caribbean, Central America, Angola, and Afghanistan, always leading his units with distinction. There are a few as loyal to the motherland as Ravenov. I almost said Reznov. Ravenov. Our request he be transferred to Spectra Grupa Omega has been approved, effective immediately. His dedication to the Soviet Union means he will carry out any order without question, which will make him invaluable to our operations. We could use more men like him. As a true believer, we know he would never betray his country. So because there's blood on this teaser, and there hasn't really been blood on any of the other pictures that we've seen, probably means that this character, Ravenov, is dead. So if he's dead, that probably means that he won't be too important on the map, but the question is, why is he on the poster of Firebase? Are we going to revive him similar to Orlov on the Maschine, or is that too repetitive? So I wonder what his role is going to be on this map. Maybe he is not dead, but it's worth pointing that out because there was blood on the picture itself. So it's kind of ironic. He would never betray his country, but he is actually the spy that Sam has been talking to within the Omega Group. So that goes ahead and solidifies that R on the teasers we got before do not reference Richtofen, but they're referencing this Ravenov character. Hope I said his name right. But he also looks exactly like the character that we saw saw in the Firebase Z poster yesterday. So I'm sorry to crush your dreams here, but Richtofen probably isn't coming back in DLC 1, at least until further notice. Where does this leave us now? Look at the evidence we have right now of a quote-unquote Eddie being in Firebase Z. We have the intel that I went over a couple of weeks ago, which references Eddie in the main menu of the game, but what if that wasn't referencing Eddie that we're all hoping for, but actually Eddie Van Halen, a rock star who unfortunately passed away this past October of 2020. So somebody at Treyarch could be a fan of the hippie Eddie Van Halen, and it's funny how the intel that we have in Black Ops Cold War from Onslaught references a hippie who went by the name of Keith, but that could just be Eddie Van Halen going by a different name, or it could even be a mistake on Treyarch's end where they intended for the character to be named Eddie, but changed it to Keith at the last minute and forgot to edit the description of the intel at the main menu from Eddie to Keith. That may have happened, but we're gonna leave that on hold for right now. We don't know who either Eddie or Keith are, so that's just unsolved. Maybe it is the Eddie that we're hoping for, but we're not gonna know for quite some time, so we'll leave that there. The other quote-unquote hint that we had for a return of Richtofen was the spy in the Omega group, and now we know R is not Richtofen, it's actually Ravenov, and we also know that the picture of Ravenov matches the character in the Firebase Z poster that we got yesterday, so that's a dead end for Richtofen. And like I said in yesterday's video, I never felt like the evidence for the return of Richtofen was solid enough to confirm that he was coming back in DLC 1. It feels like Richtofen is a character that would come back in some type of DLC 3 cliffhanger to kind of wrap up the season with a banger map. He could come much sooner than that, but at the same time, Craig Houston knows what he's doing. I mean, he knows exactly how Tag ended and how important Richtofen is, so I'm sure he's carefully planning how to bring back an iconic character like him. But we know Eddie does exist in the Dark Ether universe. It's definitely going to happen, but maybe Eddie all along was that character in the D Maschine intro that slowly walks past Sam, kind of spying on her and following her in the car. Maybe that was Eddie, and he's gone berserk in this new universe, and they haven't spoken in years. Maybe he's just going crazy, and he's remembering things of the past, trying to contact Sam, and maybe she's not having it. Who knows what's going on? Maybe she's cock-blocking him. You know, anything is possible with the return of Eddie, but it's like I said, don't get your hopes up. Don't feel disappointed by Firebase just because your favorite character isn't coming back. Be patient with Treyarch. Don't let clickbaiters or scammers tell you that Richtofen's coming back when there's no evidence of that whatsoever. I made one Eddie video a couple of weeks ago, I think it was actually over a month ago, where I went over that very strong evidence that Eddie is referenced at the main menu of the game, despite the intel contradicting the name of the character, which is Keith. So I went over that because that's very interesting, but it's still unsolved. We don't know what that means, but I never thought that the evidence of R on the teasers or the character in the poster was enough to confirm that Richtofen is coming back in DLC 1. Now, I also keep seeing lots of comments regarding Nolan North's TikTok, and I addressed that before. He, of course, wasn't hired for Black Ops Cold War because he isn't playing anybody in Zombies right now. He wasn't at the launch of the game whatsoever, so why would he have been hired? He could easily be hired in the future for DLC 3, DLC 4, to play this new hippie version of Eddie, or whoever the character ends up being. And yeah, he said he wasn't playing Richtofen. He didn't mention that he wasn't playing this new Eddie character who went through the white light and tagged Richtofen. You're right about that, but at the same time, he could also be under an NDA and obviously can't tell us that. So don't let that TikTok confirm for you that Richtofen isn't ever coming back, but also get used to the fact that this still is technically a new storyline. I wasn't disappointed that the R ended up being a new character because, again, this Dark Ether storyline is continuing on a couple of loose threads that were left after tagged Richtofen, but it's still a new storyline altogether going in a different direction. No multiverse, no time travel as of right now. It's a very grounded story, which I'm happy with. So let Treyarch develop a new story, give it a good 3-4 maps before judging how the storyline works. Give them time to really develop things, develop characters, settings, plots, teasers. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new teasers that we got earlier today? And what kind of wonder weapon do you want to see on Firebase Z? A new type of Wonder Waff, the Ray Gun Mark IV that was hinted over on Classified? Let me know down below. But the images that we got earlier from these teasers could actually be snippets of the intro cutscene that we'll probably end up seeing at some point next week. But I'm just hoping the budget is still there for Zombies. I want to see some real clean CGI for these cutscenes, but like I said before too, don't judge the map off of cutscenes or lack thereof, the marketing. Play the map for yourself, then judge the map, right? I'm hoping for a tough Easter egg, a good boss fight, maybe an ending cutscene, but don't forget the circumstances of COVID right now. Game development is real hard, and any developer can tell you the exact same thing. Making games is not easy right now, but in my eyes, Treyarch is still killing it with Black Ops Cold War DLC. But that is about it. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.